You there? You there, Gary?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, great. Coach, if you want to start us off with an opening statement, we'll open it up to questions.
Oh, I think, you see it firsthand. UCF's got an unbelievable offense, very talented, good backs. One of the top quarterbacks in the country, huge offensive line. But they did a nice job of protecting their quarterback. We didn't get a whole lot of pressure on him, and then a good stable full of receivers. When you play a team like that, you got to do a great job of matching points with your offense. I thought at times we played well offensively, but a lot of it you see right there. They punted it once, and we punted it 5 times, and also had a few times where we didn't convert on 4th down. So you got to get stops, and we weren't able to do that defensively.
Questions for Coach?
The defensive line, 8 guys back to try to slow them down. You had to give that up in the second half, but what was it? Did you guys feel like you had to do something different to slow that offense down from what you normally would do?
Well, they played some teams here this season where people rushed 4 on them and played kind of a nickel or a dime and really got had some problems. And so we looked at it. We wanted to drop 8, rush 3, and just do a good job staying in our zones, and just didn't execute it all the time as well as you need to. You played good 2 times. Then on 3rd down they hit it on you. So that's some big problems there.
You went with the onside kicks in the 3rd quarter. Now it didn't matter. Their field position didn't seem to matter. When they got the ball at the 10-yard line or the 20, they were scoring just as easily. Was that your thought process?
Yeah, going 50 yards or going 75 or 80 yards wasn't that big a deal. And they did a hell of a job fielding those balls. There's a couple of them I thought we had a great chance of getting, and those guys made some really nice plays to field.
And when you cut it to 17 the last time, you went for 2. That's your chart, your analytics chart tells you to do that in that situation?
Yeah, you got a bunch of times you're going to have to get 2, and that just kind of clears it up as where you're at with the time and all those kind of things. So we talked about it because you look at it and you think, oh, well, you kick the extra point and you get a touchdown and 2 two-pointers, you're still in the ball game. But, and it also mathematically is, easier to get that number. So and that's what we went with.
You had great running back depth in the spring. You're down to 3 guys basically today, and 2 guys that had played a lot going into the year with I mean, you knew Amari probably wasn't going to play. Just did that change anything in what you guys did offensively?
No, not too much. It was one less really good player that we had. But it didn't change too much what we were doing.
And you mentioned having to match them in points. You were doing that well in the first 2 possessions. I think in the next 2 possessions there were 4 straight sacks at one point. Some of that Pratt held the ball maybe too long. But was that kind of where it started getting away from you?
Yeah, I think when we protect, he's pretty darn good, accurate quarterback. But it's a couple of them was routes too. He just didn't. Guys didn't win. The receivers have got to win and get open as well. So, that was difficult.
Nick Anderson got hurt. Do you have a preliminary report on?
I think he's going to be okay. He came back in later.
Oh, he did? Okay. I didn't. TV coverage, I couldn't tell. UCF actually had 100 less yards today than they did last week. What do you tell your defense? Because obviously they've got to be struggling for confidence at this point, just with the result. What do you tell them to keep them up?
Every team you play, the offenses are hard to just shut down, like you did, 20 years ago. It's totally different. And there just were some things where we just lost leverage and guys got behind us, and missed tackles. I mean, early in the game one time, a guy kind of went up and tried to block a guy, instead of tackle a guy. And it was a missed tackle for probably about 60 yards. So you just got to do, those things correctly. Stay over the top, you know, wrap up, tackle, play with leverage. And, you know, now you got a chance. You know, you're hard to shut anybody out nowadays. But you know, when you're not assignment sound and you do a very good job playing and, you know, staying over the top, you know, it makes it difficult.
I'm good, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Coach.